Rafael Leão and him possibly heading to Saudi. They're saying that Al-Hilal are in for him and that his father is in Saudi right now negotiating with that club. That would be an insane move. I mean, out of nowhere. I predicted Rafael Leão to go to PSG this summer. I thought he'd go to a big club in Europe's top 5 leagues from AC Milan. I didn't think he'd be headed to Saudi. Now, nothing is concrete, and it's not like they're saying that this deal is close to happening, but Al-Hilal are trying to do a madness here. I mean, Rafael Leão is one of the most promising players in Europe right now, and he's been linked to damn near every elite club in the world. So if he makes this decision to go to Saudi Arabia, that would be insane. And I wouldn't even blame him. I know a lot of people would be mad if he does end up going there. Not me, though, because the money that they're offering in Saudi is ridiculous. This guy might be getting paid like $80 million a year to go kick ball there for like 3 or 4 years. And yeah, you could say that that might ruin his career or his legacy. But at the end of the day, these players, this is their job. Like, I don't blame anybody that's chasing a bag because you're only one bad tackle away from your career being over. I think these players need to be making as much money as possible because that's what I'd want to do. Now, he is still young, 24 years old, and it seemed like he had the world at his feet. But he's about to have a lot of money there if he ends up going to the Saudi League. And, you know, the last few summers, they've been rating top talent around Europe. Like, I remember they even signed that Spanish kid, Gabri Viega. He's young as well. Nobody saw that move was going to happen. I think he joined, like Ali or something? And, yeah, I mean, look, Al-Hilal, they are the most successful team in that country. And they already got a bunch of big-name players there. Like, Neymar is there. They got Malcolm. They got Ruben Neves, Koulibaly, Mitrovic. And now they could possibly bring in Rafael Leão. And I think that Al-Hilal, they won the league. So, look, they're cooking. They're cooking. And this would be an insane transfer. I don't know if it's true, right? Because they could just be all, just nonsense that gets put out there like most of these transfer stories. But these Saudi clubs are ambitious. And I know that he has a release clause of like 175 million. And that's just ridiculous. I don't think Rafael Leão is worth that much money. And I do think he is a bit overrated, right? Like, I like his potential. He's fast. He's strong. He has decent tech. But when it comes to finishing, he is a bit wasteful. I think he could work on that more. And for the money that AC Milan would want to sell him, it would be over 100 million. And I just don't think that he's worth that much money. To me, Rafael Leão shouldn't cost no more than 70 million. But again, the transfer market is just ridiculous. And if Al-Hilal could pay 175 M's, which they can, you guys know that oil money is long. These Middle Eastern guys, these billionaires, 175 million, they probably spent that last week to go shopping for groceries. These guys throw their money around. It's nothing to them. So when people are saying, yeah, Al-Hilal don't have any problem paying that release clause, I believe them. So we'll see what happens. But I know AC Milan would take that money in a heartbeat. And especially if you have a release clause, I mean, the club can't do anything about it anyways if they decide to activate it. It's all going to be down to the player. But trust me, AC Milan are going to be laughing their way to the banks because they know that this guy is not worth that much money, even though he does have a lot of potential. But, there are going to be some people who are going to criticize it and say that he's throwing away his career and that, at 24 years old, you shouldn't be going to Saudi. You should be wanting to play for the bigger teams. And yes, I do agree in some sense because, look, if he doesn't go to Saudi, right, let's be honest. If he moves to Man United, right, let's say they sign him, he's still going to get paid a lot of money. But Saudi is going to offer him more. But I don't know. I can't blame him, right? Because you could either make 80 or 100 million a season. Like, that's life-changing money. I mean, so is, let's say, 300K a week that you would get at Man United or at Chelsea or at PSG or any of these other big clubs. Yeah, 300, 400K, that's a lot of money. That's life-changing as well. But let's be honest. he's probably going to only get a salary of like maybe 18 or even 15 million. If he goes to Saudi, he might get 100 M's a year. He'd make more money in, no, he'd make, yeah, more money in 1 year than he's made in his entire career so far. So I can't blame players for doing that because, yeah, it's nice to win trophies, right? In terms of, let's say, the Premier League, the Champions League, and the Club World Cup, the Super Cup. Yeah, that's all nice. And that's what we care about as fans. But these players winning those trophies, yeah, it's nice. But when they retire, winning those trophies aren't going to pay their bills. No, it's the money that they were able to make from their playing days, how they invest it, how they spend it. If he goes and makes 400 million in 4 years in Saudi, can anybody really be mad at him? But I don't know if this rumor is true. Like I said, it would be very surprising if he goes there, but I wouldn't blame him. I do think that Rafael Leão will be on the move this summer. I said it earlier. I predicted him to go to PSG, right? With them losing Mbappe, they're definitely going to have to respond, and they're going to have to sign some big name players. I thought it was going to be Victor Osimhen and Rafael Leão. Those were the two attacking signings that I thought PSG would make this summer. But they're not going to offer him those kind of crazy wages like what the Saudi clubs might. So, yeah, man, this could be one of the biggest shocks or surprises of the summer. And I did see a report a few months ago that the Saudi clubs will be back this summer to try to sign big talent. And you got to give credit to them for what they're doing in that country, because a lot of people mock it and a lot of people say, oh, well, by going to Saudi, you're playing in a shit farmers league. And yeah, to some extent, you're right. But I kind of view the Saudi league as one of the most competitive in the world. Every single one of those teams are going out there and spending a lot of money so that they can win. And it's great for their economy because now tourists are going to come. Ronaldo's there. Neymar. They might go try to sign Salah this summer. Al-Ittihad. They got Karim Benzema. You got Riyad Mahrez. Alan St. Maximin. Ruben Neves. Mitrovic. Koulibaly. Who's that goalkeeper that was at Chelsea? The tall black guy. He's there as well. It's a lot of former legends that are playing in that league. I didn't even name everybody. And they're also going to be looking to sign some of these young superstars as well. And more power to them. Look, Saudi, Qatar, all those Middle Eastern countries, they invest a lot of money into sports. And I think it's smart because it brings them a lot of business. But yeah, this would be the shock of the summer if he does end up going there. But this is definitely one to follow. I would give this on a scale of 1 to 10. I would say this is like a 5 or 6 out of 10 in terms of if I think it could actually happen. And the only reason that I actually do think it can happen is just because the money that's going to be involved. It's going to be so much money that it's going to be really hard for him to turn down. But, people might say I'm waffling or, oh, you're American, so you don't get it. But, I mean, can any of us sit here and turn down $100 million per year? So if you wouldn't turn that down, I think it's very hard for you to expect somebody else to. That's just how I view it. And these people are human. And at the end of the day, this is their job, right? I'm a fan. I'm not getting paid, right? These players, Rafael Leão probably wasn't even a fan of AC Milan growing up. It's a job to him. And that's what people don't understand because they think these players think like how we do. No, they're doing this for money.